This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Erica Jackson. Thank you for joining us. Jacqueline is off tonight. Our top story, a man who was sentenced to death for murder of a woman in Manatee County is now being linked to the death of a Sarasota woman. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says DNA evidence now connects Delmer Smith to the gruesome murder of a 34-year-old woman. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from the Sheriff's Office in Sarasota with the latest. Rick?
Yeah, Erica, the murder happened back in 2009. Authorities believe they now have their man. Here's the face of a killer. Delmer Smith remains in a Florida prison, sentenced to death for the 2009 brutal murder of Kathleen Briles in Manatee County. DNA evidence is now linking him to another gruesome 2009 murder of a 34-year-old woman in her Sarasota home.
The woman was violently bludgeoned to death and sexually battered as well. And so what our detectives did is work through all of the evidence that was inside her home, submitted that evidence in a DNA profile.
The DNA results did show a positive match to Delmer Smith. In addition to the murder of Briles and now possibly this murder, he was also sentenced to life in prison for a string of home invasions in Sarasota County, where Smith's victims were typically women who were home alone, tied up, severely beaten, and sexually battered with foreign objects.
When he was released from federal prison and he came down here between kind of the spring months in 2009, we started seeing a rise in several violent crimes.
Delmer Smith is charged with murder and sexual battery. He is expected to be transferred back to Sarasota County in the near future to go in front of a judge to face these charges.
Today is a very important day for the Sheriff's Office. It's a day that we're very proud of because we've brought resolution to this case, and we hope just a little bit of peace to the family of this woman.
And Smith could be connected to some other victims. Authorities are continuing with their investigation. Reporting it live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Erica, back to you.
Thank you, Rick. Another man is behind bars and accused of attempted murder for a shooting in Sarasota County. The Sheriff's Office says 33-year-old Charles Daly fired multiple shots into a vehicle at the intersection of 17th Street and Lockwood Ridge Road on Friday. Detectives believe Daly is responsible after watching surveillance video and obtaining his statement. They also claim Daly and the victim had an argument last Monday at a food market. Daly turned himself in to the Sarasota County Jail today. An 11-year-old boy at Myakka Elementary is facing felony charges after school officials found an unloaded handgun in his backpack. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says another student alerted faculty about the gun. Sheriff's deputies responded before 9 a.m., taking the boy into custody this morning. There were no injuries or immediate threat to other students. The school was not evacuated, but parents were notified through a voicemail from the school principal. We asked one parent if he would be comfortable with that student returning to classes.
It all depends. It might have been an accident or showing his friends the gun or something, or a prank. I don't know if it was deliberate, if he wanted to go after some of the kids or not, but if it was in bad intentions, probably not.
As far as what he was going to do with the gun and where he got the gun. Those are the questions, obviously, that you want to know when something like this happens, but so far we haven't been able to ascertain those.
The district says it is too early to determine a punishment, but expulsion and reassignment are on the table as there is a zero-tolerance policy for bringing weapons on campus. The student is charged with bringing a firearm on campus. Now let's get a first check on our first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Erica. We are watching a storm system approach the Suncoast. Right now we're getting light to moderate rainfall, but there's some bigger storms well offshore. A very active jet stream, now a little piece of energy in the upper level of the atmosphere, actually getting rid of a lot of air, and so that air has to be replaced, and so that happens. Showers and storms develop, and these storms are fairly intense well offshore. Now, the biggest storms have been up to our north. Here's a look at that rain in review. A lot of heavy rainfall near Gainesville, southward out near Crystal River, and down into Tampa. The showers have been light right now, but this line is now pushing through Anna Maria Island. You're getting some rainfall there. Also near Northwest Bradenton, Cortez, some showers all the way up along the, again, Sunshine Skyway Bridge, pushing to the northeast at 5 to 10. Right now, it appears that the heaviest rain, at least over the next 4 or 5 hours, will be to our north, but there's a large area of storms just parallel with our coast. about 200 miles offshore. So we'll keep an eye on that. That could bring us some moderate to heavy rainfall for your commute tomorrow. 67 degrees. It's warm and it's muggy. Humidity at 90%. We have a southeast wind at 6 and the pressure 30.07 inches. The day planner looks like this. So for your morning commute, dropping the kids off, we could see a little bit of rainfall around. It'll be scattered and not a whole widespread rainfall event, but showers and thunderstorms, even a few isolated thunderstorms could be in the mix. Temperatures will be near seasonal averages, and then some slightly cooler air will move in. Current temps across the state, pretty warm. Still warm right now in Miami at 75 degrees. We'll talk about this cold front and how cool things will get here coming up in a little bit. Erica?
All right, Bob, thank you. Florida students who get bullied may get taxpayer help to attend a private school. A Senate panel on Monday voted for a bill that would allow students who are victims of bullying, physical attack and robbery and other types of violence to move to a different public school or receive a private school voucher. Democrats on the Senate Education Committee voted against the bill. Several said they were concerned about expanding the use of private school vouchers in the state. Senator Bill Galvano, a Bradenton Republican and sponsor of the bill, said the legislation was meant to help students who feel they are trapped. Tomorrow, First Lady Ann Scott will be making appearances on the Suncoast. Ms. Scott will be reading to students and sharing her passion for reading and literacy at Willis, McNeil, and Tara elementary schools. Today, the First Lady released her new children's book titled Allie and Jordy's Adventures Through Florida, which takes children on a journey across the state to explore Florida's history, culture, and environment. The Humane Society of Sarasota County is being recognized as one of the best animal shelters. According to the website topdogtips.com, it's the best no-kill shelter in the area, and the feline and canine programs of this shelter provide great training, behavioral reprogramming for untrained, sick, and unwanted animals. They also noted the veterinary staff at the shelter is a factor that plays into their spot on the top 30 list. And some more good news for our area. A new study shows that Tampa, Sarasota area is one of the top moving destinations in the United States. The Tampa, Sarasota area came in the number 5 spot, holding the same position from 2016, according to Penske Truck Rental's 2017 top moving destination study. The results were found using one-way truck rental data. Orlando was the only other city in Florida that made the top 10, and Atlanta took the number 1 spot. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the first alert forecast. Plus, the Senate has passed the bill to end the government shutdown, but will President Trump sign off on it? And a woman dies after falling from a cruise ship balcony. A passenger on that ship tells us what it's been like since the incident.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
All right, Bob, so Dwayne was telling us in the earlier shows that it's Severe Weather Awareness Week. What is that about?
And that happens every time, right around this time, because of these cold fronts that come down this time of year in the late winter, early spring for Florida are the most dangerous. Now, we have tornadoes with these storms during the summer, too, but they're not nearly as strong as the ones that can develop with cold fronts. This cold front is not going to be like that, but the one on Sunday could. Here's the lightning deaths. That's the #1 thing today, lightning safety. Get a look, this is 2017. There were 16 deaths across the country. And in Florida, we ranked the highest at 5. Now, in 2017, and in 2016, again, 2016, there were 31 lightning deaths. So we've cut that in half just this last year, and Florida had 5 deaths. Typically, we have about 6 deaths a year as a result of lightning. You can see where some of those strikes occurred and where those deaths occurred across the state there. So. The one thing to remember is in your vehicle is a pretty good place. If you're in the pool, get out of the water, whatever you can do. If you hear thunder, get inside. The old story is when the thunder roars, get indoors. And, of course, the automobile does offer some protection, but it's better to be indoors away from the lightning. And beach and boating, we're not going to get to that real quickly, but it's going to be seas right around 2 feet with a moderate chop out there. So we will see moderate chop, but more importantly, there'll be showers and storms developing out there. And as far as temperatures go, we're going to see highs tomorrow still in the low 70s. So this is a cold front, but it's not going to do much in terms of bringing our temperatures down tomorrow, but more so, it will bring our temperatures down, it looks like, on in through late tomorrow night and especially on Wednesday. Well, here's a look at the futurecast showing this is Tuesday at 5:30 in the morning. Showers and storms will be around, so for your commute, could be rather slick going out there. On top of that, there could be a few isolated thunderstorms. Right now, most of those thunderstorms are well offshore, and we continue to watch those. Now, as far as the hourly forecast goes, so in the morning, expect some moderate showers and a possibility of a few isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures warming in the low 70s, but clouds will stick around throughout much of the day, so it won't be much of a beach day at all tomorrow. But temperatures will warm to where they normally are. We talk about fog. Now, we had a lot of fog around this morning. That was a sea fog, and what that means is warm, moist air coming up with that south wind actually cools and condenses as a result of the water temperature being into the upper 50s to low 60s. And that fog sticks around a little longer than just your radiational fog that you see on typical nights. And you can see the current fog conditions fairly thick to the north of us right now. And we have just a little bit of fog being reported, or at least some low visibilities down south of our area. Dew point temperatures are high. That means our temperatures will stay warm tonight. We'll see lows into the low to mid 60s. Our high today was 80. That was well above average. We'll be closer to the average tomorrow at 70, 71 degrees. 67 degrees currently. The dew point is at 64, and winds are out of the southeast at 6, and the pressure now 30.07 inches. The headlines read like this for us. So a cold front arrives Tuesday. Later in the day, slightly cooler temperatures, but not extreme. Nothing like we saw last week. And then we'll have a first alert day, I think, on Sunday, meaning there's a potential for some stronger storms and cells with that next cold front that moves through on Sunday. And the pressure now, again, 30.07 inches. So for boaters, we went over it earlier, moderate chop on the bays and inland waters, seas running right around 2 feet. Winds will be out of the southwest to start the morning off, south to southwest, and then turn to the northwest in the afternoon. Highs tomorrow, low 70s, a little bit cooler on Wednesday, but not much. Sunshine to follow afternoon. Should be nice on Thursday, Friday. Saturday, increasing clouds in front of our next storm system, which will move through on Sunday. That rain chance, again, 70%. and some of those storms could be strong, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Obviously, as we get closer to that day, we'll get a little bit better handle as to how strong those storms will be and the timing of them as well coming up throughout the rest of this work week. Erica?
Okay, Bob, thank you. The government shutdown is over. Senate Democrats deciding to give in on the Dreamers with a promise from Senate Republicans they'll take up the issue soon. ABC's Gloria Riviera has the latest details from the nation's capital.
The motion is adopted.
Day 3 of the government shutdown proved to be the last for now.
To do any victory laps for any one side would be inappropriate. We've got a lot of work ahead.
Lawmakers in the House and Senate passing a temporary fix to fund the government for another 3 weeks. The president placed blame on the far left, but Democrats led by Senator Chuck Schumer say Trump refused to negotiate.
The great deal-making president sat on the sidelines.
The White House claimed Trump was behind the new bill. Lawmakers said bipartisan debate is what got it done. Either way, the president sending this message.
We certainly want to negotiate and get to a place, and we're hopeful that we can do that over the next couple of weeks.
Success will hinge on the major sticking point for the Democrats, the fate of Dreamers, the more than 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to this country as children.
To all the Dreamers who are watching today, don't give up.
Members on both sides now say Republican leader Mitch McConnell has pledged he will bring a neutral proposal on DACA to the table for debate.
It would be my intention to take up legislation here in the Senate that would address DACA, border security, and related issues.
Lawmakers have a little bit more time to determine the future of immigration laws in this country, giving themselves until March 5th. The pressure is on, though, and Democrats' only option would be to threaten another shutdown, which could cost them. Gloria Riviera, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
Locally, the government shutdown has caused DeSoto National Park to close, but it is now back open. The park posted a statement on its Facebook page saying due to a lapse in government appropriations, the DeSoto National Memorial Visitor Center and parking lot were closed to the public until further notice. While visitors can still go to the park, they did voice concerns to us about the government shutdown.
They could come together enough to get a little bit of support from across the aisle to pass something to keep the government running.
The park is closed for tonight, but it will reopen tomorrow morning at 9. A woman is dead after falling several decks from a balcony on a Carnival cruise ship. The ship was on a 4-day Bahamas cruise that departed from Jacksonville on Thursday. A cruise spokesperson says the incident happened early Friday when the woman fell from her balcony. The ship's medical team responded immediately, but she passed away shortly after the fall. We spoke with a passenger that is currently on that ship. He says this has made everyone want to be more cautious.
I know with our group today, everybody was a little more cautious because it does make you think about it. I noticed on the news, I think it was a ship that either came back or left on Thursday out of another port. Somebody fell off of the deck 2 levels and they died. And now this person fell overboard, so it really does make you a little cautious whenever you're out on the deck, especially, I mean, anything can happen, accidents happen, but it makes you think a little bit more and want to be safe.
Ryan says his group found out during dinner when an alarm went off and everyone ran to the side of the ship to see what was happening. He says the shows and activities were canceled last night, but most people were getting back into vacation mode today. He added that the crew has been very good about keeping passengers updated on the incident. 5 people are still missing tonight after a fiery explosion ripped through an eastern Oklahoma drilling rig this morning. The explosion took place a little before 9 a.m., sending flames shooting 50 feet in the air. The Pittsburgh County Sheriff said about 24 people were working on the rig when it exploded. Emergency crews accounted for 17 of them, with 5 still missing. Video from the site shows the heat from the fire eventually caused the derrick to collapse. Flames then spread across the site.
The only fire still burning is what's coming out of the wellhead right now. As far as injuries, we have the 16 folks who have got off of the location. 1 we have flown out with some burns. Not sure exactly where he was flown out to. He was flown by medical helicopter. And we have 5 still that are unaccounted for at this time.
There's no word yet on what caused the blast. The number of Netflix subscribers is growing at record speed. The streaming company announcing today it added more than 8 million subscribers in the fourth quarter of 2017. It marks the strongest quarterly subscription gain in the company's history. Netflix credited its stronger than expected gains in new customers in part to its original content slate. That likely includes Stranger Things, Netflix's breakout show, which returned for a second season during the quarter. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's what we're up to tonight. Oprah is one of the co-stars of this film. Are you guys in, like, scenes together?
Yes.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses. Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight in Chicago. That game ended just a few minutes ago. The Lightning beat the Blackhawks 2-0. A new book is taking a closer look at the rise of and fall of disgraced former NFL player Aaron Hernandez. Best-selling novelist James Patterson and two co-authors are responsible for All-American Murder, which is now available for purchase. It's an investigation into the life of crimes by Hernandez, the former New England Patriots tight end who was found guilty in the 2013 murder of his former friend. Hernandez received a life sentence and ended up taking his own life in jail last spring. The publisher says All-American Murder is based on interviews with more than 60 people and extensive use of court material. A shakeup at USA Gymnastics as the sentencing hearing for its former doctor, Larry Nassar, continues in Michigan. The federation has come under intense public criticism over how it responded to accusations that Nassar sexually abused young girls. 3 members of USA Gymnastics Board of Directors, including its chair, have resigned amid the scandal. Nassar admitted to sexually assaulting and abusing young girls while providing medical treatment. In a deal with prosecutors, he has pleaded guilty to 7 counts of criminal sexual conduct, and he's already been sentenced to 60 years in prison for federal child pornography charges. Do you want tickets to this year's Super Bowl? Well, be prepared to really open your wallet. Ticket IQ found the cheapest available ticket on resale markets for Super Bowl 52 is $4,370. That is some big bucks right there. Believe it or not, that price is actually down $500 from Sunday. That's because the Minnesota Vikings failed to advance to the Super Bowl, meaning it won't be the first team in NFL history to play a Super Bowl at its home stadium. But this year's showdown between the New England Patriots and Philadelphia Eagles still commands a pretty penny. Best of luck to both teams there. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Jennifer Lawrence, Dakota Johnson, and Mark Wahlberg are among the actors nominated for an award none of them want. They're nominees for the 38th Annual Golden Raspberry Awards. The Razzies honor the worst films in Hollywood and are timed to coincide with the Oscars. Lawrence got a Worst Actress nomination for her role in the film Mother. Wahlberg is a Worst Actor nominee for his work in both Daddy's Home 2 and Transformers: The Last Night. And Johnson is hoping she doesn't win Worst Actress for 50 Shades Darker. She won the same award for 50 Shades of Grey in 2016. The Razzies are joke awards, but a handful of winners have shown up to claim their trophies in good fun. So I like it. They're going along with it.
Yeah, they're
good
humble.
sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely. They're good actors and actresses, you know, but sometimes you get a bad script.
Got to take the bad with the good,
That's right? Absolutely. We are looking at some showers around right now. Speaking of taking the bad with the good, we're going to see some pretty bad weather in terms of rainfall. I don't think anything severe here overnight, and looks like there are some lightning strikes well offshore, over 180 miles. Will they have enough to hold on? I think one or two will. There will be some isolated storms. Right now, some rain along I-275. The day planner looks like this. Some showers in the morning. Temperatures warming in the low 70s and cloudy skies.
All right, hopefully nothing too bad. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.